Welcome back to another episode of the Players Corner. And I say this every single show, but it still relates. We have a very special guest. And if you don't know, this is the MVP of the WFA League, Women's Football League. And so today I really, really, really want to highlight women's football because we don't talk about it enough. And it's at the professional level. So let me stop talking and bring in Brianna Spidey Barrett. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me, D.
Yeah, I've been rehearsing. Did I mess up?
No, that's good. Brianna Spidey. That's perfect.
I'm so happy to have you here. I know you go by Spidey, and we'll get into that just a second. But I just want to thank you for taking the time to come and talk because believe it or not, you are the first female I've had on the Players Corner or the
What?
Coaches Corner. Yeah, so this is the first. We're celebrating. It
Love
won't be
that.
the last, but it's definitely the first. And
Start of a good tradition. Start of a good wave.
yeah. And she is the MVP, y'all. 2025 MVP. You know how we feel about MVPs. Now, the Spidey. Where did Spidey come from? I want people to get familiar with you. What your story is, where you came from, and how did you get here? So I'm gonna start with Spidey.
Story.
How
My
did
origin
you
story.
get
Okay.
into Spidey? Yeah.
So it actually started back in college and a little bit after that too. So I actually got the nickname after college, but the reason for this is because my freshman year of college, so I'll kind of give a whole backstory here. Luckily, me and my best friend Jordan, snuck our way into student housing on campus, and we had a really nice apartment, which is unheard of for freshmen. I'm just going to tell you that. But we got into this apartment. The apartment building was called Webb, ironically. And in our bathroom was a black widow nest. And one weekend I got really sick and I told Jordan, hey Jordan, I don't feel good. And I found a bite on my leg and I didn't know it was anything, like if it correlated at all.
Yeah.
However, I got sick. And so we called my mom and she was like, just keep an eye on it. And then throughout the weekend, I got even more sick. So I had circled the bite just to see if it would spread, and it started to spread. So my whole leg was getting really red and I was getting sick. And so I went to the on-campus doctor and they told me I got bit by a black widow. Shortly after that, we found the nest. And so I had to get, it was terrible. I was out from basketball because I played basketball in college. I was out from basketball for a whole month. I had to get a shot in my butt. It's the worst in the world. I had to get it packed up and cleaned. And then the second they took out the packing, the gauze, it was probably the worst feeling I would never wish on my worst enemy. It was the worst feeling ever. But so that was how that portion started. And then shortly after, I started playing flag football. And I had told someone the story, and they started calling me Spidey because of my athleticism and my ability to catch the ball through the air. And so it kind of just clicked. And also, my favorite superhero and Marvel character is Spider-Man. So it worked out perfectly.
Got bit by a spider, got all this athleticism, and Spider-Man is your favorite. What is it? Superhero. Sorry.
Yes.
I was about to say action figure, and that's not. I mean, yes and no. But,
yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we talked about basketball, flag football, the WFA.
Yes, there's also a few other leagues throughout the states and out of other countries. But Women's Football Alliance is one I play in, and there's just under, I think, 60 teams in the whole league, and there's different divisions as well. So there's the pro division, which is what I play in on Cali War, and Division 2 and Division 3.
Okay, so how did we get here from college? Were you playing flag after college?
No, so after college, I was in grad school, so I stayed, and then I started playing in the Drew League, the Women's Drew League for basketball, and a few other leagues here and there. And one of my teammates actually asked me if I wanted to play, and Jordan too. And she tried out for the team and asked me if I wanted to play women's tackle football. And I had no idea there was a women's tackle football team at all, and let alone it being pro team. So I went to one of the practices. I met our coach and the commissioner of the league at the time, coach at the time, commissioner of the league, Lisa
Hmm.
King. And so I met her, connected with her a little bit, and she asked me if I wanted to play, if I ever played football. And I actually never did. I think I played powder puff and
Okay.
just throwing the ball around here and there. And I tried out and I fell in love with it.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
dope.
was
So you
this was like 2020, right after COVID, 2021.
okay, so when you first started, what was kind of like your position? Was it just were you quarterbacking or did you start as the wide receiver?
I was wide receiver. Wide receiver. It was the
Okay.
only position I really cared for because
Hmm.
I like to catch, and so I wanted to be able to be on the field and juke people and catch
Hmm.
and just make amazing catches. And I think it translated really well with my skill in basketball.
Yes.
So I immediately was like, I want to be a wide receiver. I couldn't throw to save my life. I still kind of can. You can see some film on that, but I definitely got better. But I could not throw a ball to save my life. So catching was a
Yeah.
lot more my skill.
I feel like I'm a really good quarterback, but I also feel like I'm a really good coach. Like I feel like I am the coach when I quarterback. So I need to quarterback so
Okay,
I can
exactly.
need you to do what I need you to do. And you're not gonna get the ball if you don't do what I need you to
Yeah,
do.
which is kind of funny because in basketball, I'm a point guard, and I
Hmm.
that's you have to know everyone's position. You're
Yeah.
facilitating. You're telling people where to
Facilitating.
go. Like that would be the QB, right?
Yeah.
Not at all. If I knew how to throw, maybe, but
Yeah,
no.
and I've played in a couple of games, right? And depending on who your assets are on your team, you could be a little run heavy. You could do a little screen pass here and there, and
Mm,
it all depends on what you're working with. So
exactly.
sometimes throwing isn't. I don't have the best days throwing. But I want to talk about your and please correct me if I got this wrong. I got this online, and if it's
Okay.
wrong, it's their fault. It's not mine. I
Okay.
didn't make it up. 363 yards, 26 receptions, and 6 touchdowns on the season.
No, 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 no.
See,
It
that's,
was
that's not me.
one,
So please
one,
give me your stat line
1,000.
for 2025.
Let me make sure
Yeah.
I'm correct here because I also could be
Because
wrong.
I was like, that seems a little low for a season, but hey.
No, yeah, definitely. I think that was probably in one game. It was, let me see, 1,230, 12, 1,236, I want to say, for my yards, total
Mhm. And I
yards.
think that and I'm gonna ask you one more time, but I think
Yes.
whatever I saw, because I went straight to the site
Hmm.
and looked at like receiving
Okay.
and I went to see like it was three of you. You were the third one. And
Receiving. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Receiving yards. Yeah. So total rushing yards, 1,203. And then 23 touchdowns, 20 PAT conversions. And then I think, yes, for receiving yards, 363, I think you said.
okay, 363. Okay, so now we gotta go
Yes.
because I went straight to
Yeah.
receiving.
So, yes, which is fair.
Yeah.
More of this season and last season, they actually made me more of a running back in a sense, tailback,
Hmm.
mainly running back, and a little bit of receiving. But my main position is wide receiver. But
Okay.
honestly, like wherever they needed me this season to get to where we were and to succeed, I was down. I was
You
in
know,
for it.
they
Defense,
call those
whichever.
They call those guys on in the other league, what do they call them? The gadget guys, the guys that do it all. Like the Swiss
Yeah,
Army
okay.
knife. That's what they call them. The Swiss Army knives.
Okay.
So you're obviously that, and that is why you got that MVP attached to your name. So how did that
Yeah.
feel? I want to talk about your teammates. Here you're with the Cali War, and how did they receive you being MVP of that league this season?
To be honest, I think they were more hyped than I was. I was really
Hmm.
excited. Don't get me wrong, extremely
Yeah.
excited. I'm just really hard on myself, and I have my own goals throughout the season. And my main goal was to get to the championship, and we didn't this season. And
Mhm.
regardless on my accolades, my team's accolades, individually is amazing, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna shorthand myself at all because I did great and I worked really hard for where I'm at
Yeah.
and for this title. But it felt surreal because I worked really hard and sometimes I don't get what I'm like trying to achieve. And it's a little
Mhm.
disappointing to me. Like I said, I'm really hard on myself. So being able to actually get the heir to the throne, because this is the first time they ever did it in the league with Wilson and um, throughout this league. Usually it's just MVP of each conference
Mhm.
and they have offensive, defensive, and MVP overall for each side. But getting
Mhm.
heir to the throne, being the first one ever to have it in the league is absolutely unreal. And for me to have that is crazy. Sometimes I don't even believe it still, but it's a great feeling. I still have a lot of work to do, and it's not. This is not like I'm not capping myself out. I still have so much to work on, and but I'm trying to enjoy this right now until
Yeah,
I get
and it's
something.
and I asked about your teammates because it's usually that, right? The team is so excited for you. Like they know the work you put in. They know how make them better as a unit. And so they're always happy. Um I feel like more happy than the person that actually wins MVP.
Right. No, my I love my team.
Mhm,
They're so supportive, and we're so close. And as we're playing, and we're family outside of this. And I couldn't have gotten this award without them, especially my O
mhm,
line, especially my quarterback. My team's my motivators, and sometimes when I'm down, they pick me up, vice versa. And I think without them, I wouldn't have been able to get this award at all this season.
mhm,
We go through a lot playing this sport, being women playing a male dominated sport that most
mhm.
people don't know about, but it's becoming a lot more popular, which is
Yeah.
amazing. But
Yes.
we go through a lot because we have our outside lives that we deal with. We're not getting paid to play this. We're working a 9 to 5. We're hustling outside of this and hustling on the field. So we're
Yeah.
basically we're dual. We're doing everything, and you go through so much because you have to make sure you have your flights. You have to make sure you have money for gear. You have to make sure you
Mhm.
have rent money, food money, like everything allocated to playing this
Yeah.
and being able to
Time
still
off,
take
leave,
time off.
like
So much goes into it, and it's a lot during a season because you're having to juggle so much, and then also still focusing on winning games, right?
Yeah,
And
and it's a
being an
physical
athlete,
element.
yeah,
You're not just out there walking, like, you're
right.
physically
You're getting
playing
beat up.
yeah, and then have to
You're
go
getting beat up every day.
back
Yeah.
home to work.
Yes. Oh, after this past All American weekend, I am still sore. I'm down for the count for like a couple days. There's so much you're doing, but yeah, it's recovery aspects for it too that you have to do on your own. It's so making sure you're taking care of yourself is so big. But throughout
Mhm.
season, you're going through so much. So being able to have my team there to encourage me and then me encourage them and just us being together and pushing us through the season is so important. And that's one of the main reasons why honestly I got this award.
Yeah, I relate to that so much. Just me and how I operate in the sports world. I still people think sports is all that I do, but I still have a 9 to 5. I
Mhm.
do this when I'm not. This is my 5 to 9. I say, I
There you
got
go.
my 9 to 5, and then this is my 5 to 9, and I'm not on anyone's payroll, so this is all me. So I totally relate.
Hmm.
I don't wear the pads and get out there on the field, which again, that's a whole nother level um, of having to come back to reality when you're sore, hurting, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
But I want to talk to you about some mentors, mentorship in this game, and who are some of your mentors that you lean on in this women's football arena? No pun
Right.
intended.
Yeah. One of my mentors has been one of my teammates actually. Her name is Antoinette Frazier Borders Frazier Borders Frazier. Um, we call her Happy.
Okay.
She is number 99 on the team. She's an absolute amazing human,
Hmm.
and she has been my support system throughout this season and just in general, just her as a human and her playing and everything that she does for the team. It's so inspiring. And she's honestly one of my main reasons why I was pushing so hard this season. I wanted to get her a ring. Still
Yeah.
on that road to doing it though. So happy if you're watching this. We're still doing it.
Yeah.
It might take a little longer, but we're getting there. But she's one of my mentors. I always reach out to her and talk with her about if I need advice, if I need someone to just kind of listen and vent to. Her big mentor. My mom, also another
Mhm.
mentor, just in life in general. She works so hard, and she's worked so hard to get us here. Single mother, and she is just an amazing woman that has taught me how to be resourceful, how to be resilient, and how to
Mhm.
continue to push towards my goals and never giving up. And then Lisa King, obviously someone I'd look up to, who
Right.
started this league, like one of the first commissioners of a WF or a women's tackle football. Who without her I wouldn't even be playing this. And so many other women and people in general that I've been able to be blessed to have in my life
Mhm.
that I look up to and that I lean on heavy, that help me get through life and help me become the person I am and get to where I am in this sport.
Yeah.
Um, which is so, I feel like that's so important for people to have.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. I want to get some insight onto what the season is like. We talked about it a little bit, but like when's practice? Like you have your day-to-day stuff, like your normal, again, 9 to 5. What is a week like when you're in season? Just
Right.
for anyone
So
that's curious of joining the league.
oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Full transparency here because you got to know, right? It
Yeah.
is like I said, people have families, they have jobs outside of this, so it's difficult to have a schedule like you would if you were in the NFL, right? Because you're getting paid to play. That is your life. That's your job, and you're there
Mhm.
7 days out of the week. You're working. Like you don't take it off. You're continuing to work on your craft, and because you're getting paid for this, that's your livelihood.
Mhm.
For women's pro tackle football, you are working 5 days a week, you or 6 or 7. We have practices. We have to have practices at least one time a month. For our team specifically, we practice as a full team once or twice a month. Um, we have a lot of players that travel from other states and other areas, not just in
Right.
LA, but the team is based in LA. And so we have to account for travel time, money for hotels for them. So we
Yeah.
fundraise a lot and we try to reach out to get sponsorships to help with that because we don't have anyone to pay for it. We have to come out of pocket mainly.
Yeah.
So if we're not fundraising, we don't make enough. But we practice as much as we can with as many people as we can in those months leading up to it, usually starting in January, February.
Mhm.
And then this past season, we've had mandatory practice one weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then every Friday for people who are local practices. And then we have our game starting mid to end of April is our first game. And then usually we'll have hopefully like a scrimmage before that. But
Mhm.
you're expected to do a lot of the work on your own because we don't meet
Mm.
up and we don't have time to really meet up often because you have so many things outside of life. So in your own lives to be able to deal with and do. And some people can't get work off, so we understand. So we have to be super flexible and you have
Mm.
to assume that people are putting in the work outside of our practices and set times for that. It's before season starts.
So, long story short, there's a level of dedication, like unsupervised dedication that you have to do this.
Yes, you have to be
Keeping
a
yourself in shape.
yes, you have to be dedicated, you have to love what you're doing, and you have to be a little bit crazy because this is a wild ride for real. But I love this so much and I love sports in general. I'd do anything to play a sport, truly,
Yeah.
especially football right now. And without a sport, my mental health would be out of the window. So
Let's
um
talk about that though. Let's talk about that. Mental health. I talk about it on this show pretty often. And I would love to get your perspective on what you do. Like you said, playing it helps with your mental health, but
mhm.
what are you doing when you're playing and you're not having the best days? How do you cope?
Wow. Try to journal. Those
Mhm.
are my like outlets. Walking. When I'm not playing, I work, and I work at a gym, so working out does help a little bit. But for me,
Mhm.
mainly is venting with people. I go to therapy every week, which has been a game changer for me. I think it's super important to talk about it. I think it's super important to be able
That's
to
awesome.
do.
Mhm.
Once you're comfortable with it, obviously it's not easy talking about stuff and being able to kind of let out emotions and let out things that are going on in your head. For someone who's an overthinker, that's so important for me. Like I
Mhm.
said, I'm super hard on myself too. So having like a therapist to kind of bounce off things with is perfect. And then you have your friends and family, my teammates,
Yeah.
who, like I said, are big, big supporters and people that I can lean on and I can trust. And without that, and without what I've been doing, I don't know. It's with sports. It's so hard when sports is something that you did growing up for your whole entire life, and when it's gone, it sometimes it's people's identities, and it has been mine. And it
Mhm.
still kind of is, and I'm trying to kind of get away from that because if it's gone, then what do I do? So
Yeah.
having a balance between that is so important, and it starts with figuring out who you are, figuring out who you are outside of a sport, so it doesn't really take a toll on you when you stop playing it or when you're not playing it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said therapy because I know a lot of people that play sports, the sport itself is their therapy. So
And
again,
that's what
when
it
you
is for
take it
me.
away,
Exactly.
how do I don't know how to deal and cope with things in life because that was my outlet. And so
Yes.
there are tools that I hope more athletes hear this and can start using them prior to them maybe not being able to play a sport any longer, whether it's, from the physical element or, physical age and life itself, priorities change. And
Yes.
so I hope people hear that and understand like, hey, I need to find some other sources of coping with the things that I have going on. Because
Yes.
sports may not
It's
always be there.
exactly. And I think it's important to know, like, it's okay to not be okay, and it's also okay to go to therapy, and it's okay to be dealing with stuff and not know how to express it, but having someone there is super helpful. And I think that it's such a topic that a lot of people kind of teeter around. But I think
Hmm.
also to note with therapy, it's not gonna work unless you're ready for it.
Yeah.
So once you're ready for it, because I tried therapy so many times before in college because I was going through it and I didn't want to do it. So I
Hmm.
stopped. Like I probably tried it 2 or 3 times before then. And now I was finally ready because I was like, I need it because
Hmm.
I'm at an age now where I'm older and I really have to start diving into like my own mental health and making sure I'm good up here. And so it doesn't work unless you're ready for it. But when you are ready for it, it's a game changer and it's super important and it's okay that you do it. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's helpful for you and being a whole human.
I thank you for sharing that. That is it's so very important. We talked about you mentioned the sponsorships and things and people kind of help contribute to the league to cut some of the expenses. But as for your particular brand, how are you building that?
For my brand, I probably in this last year I started to think, okay, maybe I can be a brand.
Mhm.
And so I have an amazing marketing team for myself and an amazing camera guy slash best friend that helps me with just building my brand too.
Mhm.
And they're helping me push my brand, whether it's on Instagram, so social media, getting my face out there, doing interviews, and reaching out to as many brands that I can to try to support me in my journey through
Mhm.
football as an athlete and just my own personal brand too is just getting my face out there, playing as hard as I can, playing my sport and playing the thing I love. And hopefully they can see how excited I am to play and they'll want to hop on the train too, hop on the Spidey train.
Yeah, I love it. I think that investing in you and your brand, it's something that I'm very, very familiar with. So I applaud it because sometimes you cannot wait for other people to just see it. You got to produce it, and
Mhm.
then people will be like, "Oh, what's going on over there? Oh, I'm interested. How can we be a part of that thing you have going on over there?" So that's great. And another thing I wanted to ask, where do you see yourself next? Like, what's next for you?
Um, get back to the drawing board. How can I get better for next season? And in
Mhm.
between then, playing some flag football. I am actually in the process of moving. So I'm moving to Vegas. So I'll be in
Okay.
Vegas with my sister. So I'll be closer to family, which is also another part of my mental health journey, being closer to family.
Mhm.
Um, and from there, just starting to build a little bit more of my brand focusing on that, focus on football, playing flag, and just continuing with my skills.
Hmm.
And in the future, hopefully, brand deals, maybe
Yes.
commercials, maybe working with an NFL team,
Hmm.
working with an NBA, WNBA team, sports, just being around that field, around that environment a little bit more. It's my game plan.
So when you say working, are we talking from a coaching point of view? Are we talking from the physical?
Right. I have experience managing and I have experience in sales.
Hmm.
So if I could be able to work with any of them in any aspect, honestly, within my skill set, I'm
Hmm.
good with that. I just want to be around sports again.
Hmm.
And if also if like an NFL team wants to do some sort of a camp with me, that'd be great. Throw it
Yeah.
out there. I would love to do like a Spidey camp or anything like that for kids, little young girls who want to play football and they don't know much about it. I'd love to throw something like that.
Hmm.
Um, but anything in that field, anything in that realm, I'm happy and excited to kind of dive into and figure out what exactly I want to do. But
Hmm.
kind of I'm funneling it in right now, so we'll see.
You talked flag, and I know flag is so uh, it's huge, and the Olympics are coming. Have you considered? Have you considered it?
I think every athlete has considered it. Even athletes that haven't even played football, I think they consider it. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flag players in the USA team, the women's team that have been playing, or
Yeah.
people have been playing for so many years. That
I know.
obviously would be great at it. I would be wrong if I didn't try to throw my name in the hat,
Yeah.
but it's always a goal of mine to get to the Olympics since I was a kid. Whatever sport they had, I would try to do it. That was kind of
Yeah.
like a lifelong goal as a child. Like I wrote it down, get to the Olympics in whatever sport. But
Yeah. That's called
um,
make you're good. I manifest that. We're gonna work on that. It's not over. It's not over.
so right. So no, yeah, I definitely thought about that for sure.
Okay, okay, okay. I had to pull that out. I'm like, I wonder if because honestly, it is something that people don't know. The people that have been playing flag for so long, and and then you have I'll just use the NFL as an example. You have all the NFL players saying like, "Yeah, we're going to be on the flag team." And we're like, "Wait a minute now. There's like a whole group of people that do this on a regular basis, you know? Like
Mhm. Yeah.
you guys don't play this on a regular basis." Um but you have the experience as well as, the tackle football experience, and you are the MVP. So, I mean, why
The sports
not?
are different. It surprisingly is very different playing tackle versus playing flag football.
It
But
is. It is.
yeah, I do have the experience playing flag for the last few
Mhm,
years now, so that's been great. Being able to experience that, and it's so much fun. I love it. I
mhm.
love being out there in the environment. It's probably one of the best environments to be around, besides tackle. Um, but yeah, the NFL, a lot of the NFL players who think they can hop on it, good luck to them because watching like it's not the same. It's not the
It's
same.
not
You
that.
might be a skilled player, but there's so many different techniques that go into flag versus tackle that it's hard to hop into. You have to really take the time to really learn it to perfect that craft.
Yeah.
And people playing USA flag football have been doing it for years and
Mhm.
they perfected their craft or they're continuing to. And so I don't know, good luck to them, I guess.
It's nothing to play with. It's not a game. It's not just going out in the backyard. There are rules. They're like you said, techniques. Like it's not a
Mhm.
game.
And
But I want
you can lose off a technicality. Like you don't know the rules,
yes.
you can lose off that very easily.
I,
And
I,
so
I foot stomp it. It's not a game to be played with. You better know
mm,
what you're doing. You better know the rules if you're gonna go out there and play flag.
exactly.
And you're gonna represent America at that. Don't go out there embarrassing us because you
Yeah.
don't know the rules.
Yeah.
But I want to one thank you for coming on the Players Corner, and I want you to take the floor and let people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, and support your journey.
Yes. Thank you for having me, Dee. This has been so much fun. I'm glad I was the first female you had on here
Yeah.
and first women's tackle football you had on player you had on here. So Glad to be
First
here.
MVP I had on
Thank
here.
you.
Let's go down the list.
Me first. You can find me on Instagram mainly, and I'm also on Facebook. But you can look me up as Spidey Barrett, SPIDEY BARRETT on Instagram. I do have a TikTok. I'm rarely on TikTok, um, but yeah,
She
find
needs
me
to
on
get that.
Instagram.
Tell her to go get that TikTok money. Go get on TikTok. Go live. Continue to go live when
Mm,
you're doing what you do.
mm,
Just yeah. I don't shy
yes.
away from that. Shy away
Oh,
from
I'm
that.
definitely not. I'm definitely not. I'm
Yeah.
definitely not. I'm
We're
so
gonna get
busy with
on it.
everything too. It's like I have to find the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Instagram is just super easy for me. And
It is.
so we just reach out to me on Instagram if anyone ever wants to chat it up or have any questions about the WFA. I'm all ears. I'm happy for a conversation. But
All
that's where you find me.
right. I think I'm a little too out of shape, but maybe I could be like a kicker or something.
But can you kick?
No, but
You
I
have time to practice. You have time to practice.
I feel like I could start there, maybe. Just I like leg day. I enjoy a good leg day. So
Okay,
I
there you
feel
go.
like, that could be my thing.
Awesome. We do have tryouts coming up. I think probably gonna happen in October. But if you want to join the team, reach out.
All
Plenty of
right, let me
spots
get out
available.
there and start kicking tonight. All right. I want to thank you again. Thank you so much for your time, and we will be checking you out online. Thank you so much, and good luck on your journey and next season.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you for having me.
No problem.